Okay, so the very first step that we're going to be covering is preparation, and preparation is just important for all of life, but so important for when you're actually trying to sell video. My old man once said to me that failing to prepare is preparing to fail, and I couldn't say that any other true word has ever been said to me in my whole entire life. So first thing, why should you be preparing? If you're going to be going in and trying to sell a video to somebody, say like you've had an email response or somebody's reached out and somebody's interested in buying video off you, you need to know when you go in to sell that video what the business is about, so you can convince them that you are the right supplier for that video. So some really simple things you can do is go onto a company's website, scroll through it, have a look at the overview, look at the about us, go on LinkedIn, find out who owns the company, find out how it's structured, find out who are the key stakeholders that are going to be involved in making the decision as to whether to buy the video. Is there a marketing manager in there? Is there a head of marketing? Is there a head of comms? Find out who these people are and make sure that once you've gathered a collection of information on the business that you're trying to sell to, you have a look at other businesses like them, you have a look at their competitors, and you can do a little bit of an analysis to find out what they're doing well and what their competitors are doing well, or what they're doing badly and what their competitors are doing badly, because then you can prescribe what is the best solution, what's the best fit of video deliverable to serve their purposes, their aims, their objectives. And if you do that piece of research before you actually go in and sell, it will do wonders to helping you get the deal over the line. The old saying goes, there's a lot of old sayings today, the old saying goes, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression, and that's so absolutely true. People will make their mind up about you and how you are presenting yourself within 5 seconds. Got to love those made up stats. It's definitely something like that. It might even be 2, it might be 10. I'm gonna go with 5. We'll meet somewhere in the middle. But yeah, it's somewhere in that region of 2 to 5 to 10. Get yourself prepared. Do a little bit of an overview. You don't want to exhaust so much time into it because you know that you might be in competition with other businesses, but what you want to do is give yourself the best possibility of winning that piece of business. So it's worth doing a little bit of legwork in the short term to get yourself to that later stage of selling that piece of video to the potential client. All right, next up, communication. Communication is king. Communication is king in life. It's a bit like preparation, all these things. Selling is basically life. You're always selling, whether you realize it or not. You are always cognizant of yourself, or you should try and be self-aware, and you're selling yourself all the time in life. One big recommendation I do have is take a little bit of time out and listen to an audiobook or read the book called Exactly What to Say by Phil M. Jones. If you want to listen to the audiobook version, it's literally about an hour and a half. You can do it whilst you're driving to your grands or something. Get your headphones on, maybe not in your car. Put it on your speaker in your car. Get your headphones on if you're going for a walk. Listen to this book. This guy gives some really great tips on phrases that you can use when you're in a negotiation or you're in a sales situation, and those words and those phrases will help you manage that conversation better and move it towards a more favorable outcome for you. In communication, you have to be positive. You have to ensure that when you're speaking to people that they don't feel sad and dull. If they're interacting with you whilst you're selling to them and you're making them a bit bored or a bit fatigued or a bit tired, or your delivery doesn't have any energy or excitement or enthusiasm to it, then they're not going to want to work with you. You have to make somebody feel like you're a great pleasure to work with, you're going to be fun to work with, they're going to enjoy working with you. So you have to stay positive whilst you're in these sales situations. Otherwise, people are just going to look at you and they're going to listen to you and they're going to think, well, if you're not enthusiastic about this, the working relationship's going to be difficult. And also, if you're not enthusiastic about this, then why would I want to buy off you? I want to buy from somebody that's passionate about what they're doing. And honestly, letting your passion through and being enthusiastic in these sales situations will do a hell of a lot for you. But, and there is a big but, you have to be direct when you need to be direct. You need to ask difficult questions sometimes when you're selling, and you have to just get into the habit of having no fear in doing it. one thing that people hate doing is asking for budget. You know, it's like, oh, can I ask? Can I not ask? I feel a bit awkward. Do they have to? You're having a conversation with somebody because they want to buy some video. They've got a figure in mind of what they're willing to spend on it. Or they don't, and you can prescribe it to them. But before you prescribe it, ask what it is. This will do one of two things. It will either say we've got, I don't know, 100 grand to spend on it, or we've got £1,000 to spend on it. And that will mean that you don't go in at 100 grand when they've only got 1,000 and lose yourself the opportunity straight away. It will also do another thing, because if you're having a conversation with somebody and you start asking them about budget and they get really, really weird, you might find that they actually answer, we don't have any budget for it, which is also good in some regards, because you'd much rather find out whether they've got budget sooner rather than later than you spending hours and hours emailing, calling, when basically they haven't got any budget for it and they're not bothered about it. Stop wasting your time. You could be spending that time selling to somebody else. So in communication, be positive, but make sure that you're direct and you ask questions that you need to ask. So the next thing is kick-ass, shit-hot proposals. When you get to the stage of giving a proposal, you're this close, you know, you've had the conversations, they've asked for a proposal, or hopefully you've asked that question about budget and you know the answer to it, you've proposed, you're putting here, this is my proposed plan to fulfill what you need with video. And this is really your opportunity to take it from a maybe to a, yeah, we're going to work with these guys. So you have to put effort into those proposals, but you also need to have a proposal which is going to give confidence to somebody to actually buy. Now, what I'm going to do here is show you a proposal that we have developed as a business. So the company I own, it's called NAS Media, and we've developed this proposal over 2 years, and it's a web-based proposal, and it has helped us close so many deals. We always get positive feedback on it. We started off with Word documents, then PDFs, and then we moved on to creating a web proposal. And I can honestly say it's transformed our sales. We went from maybe closing 1 in 10 deals to about 7 or 8 in 10. And we are pretty damn sure that the turning point of us increasing that amount of closed deals was down to this web proposal. It gives the client confidence that your stuff is good. And it also follows a structure which helps drive the client towards having confidence that they should want to work with you. So let's jump into it, and I'll give you a little walkthrough of this one here. Okay, here we go. So first of all, bit of an intro, include your client's logo here. Next, we have an outline of the different sections of the proposal. So a little bit about the company, a little bit about the project that you're going to be working on, give it the timelines, and then give the investment that the client is going to have to make. This is a little bit of spiel about our company, NAS Media. Include a show reel of the work that you've done. Then follow that up with a statement saying that we're all about seeing real results. You know, here it states, a key mantra of ours is, what is the point of having a great video if nobody sees this? You need to talk about return on investment when you're dealing with a client. You know, what are they going to get out of the video that you're going to make for them? Next, give a little bit of an outline about their project. What's the project name? Give an overview, just a couple of short paragraphs about what the project is, and then some of the aims and objectives that they're trying to achieve from this project. Then go into different personas. So I've left a couple of examples in here. We give a little outline, you know, before you actually start creating any kind of video, you should be thinking about who are the people that you're going to be trying to get a response from, who are the personas. Give the client a little bit of an understanding of, this is the flow. We're going to start by thinking about who are we trying to communicate with. Next, I mean, we just have it, it's quite playful in here of like, what's the big idea? Just an example, you give what content types. Is it a minute? Is it 2 minutes? Is it an interview? Is it a hero piece? Is it a promo piece? Is it a podcast? Whatever it may be. Then for example's sake, you'd include what is some of the key messaging, key elements that you would feature. You know, you need to show product features, you need to feature specific people. And then the final thing that's always great to include is video inspirations, you know, help paint the picture in the client's mind And this is always good to have in there, because ultimately before you actually sign the contract off, you don't want to be expending that time and energy into doing storyboards. But this is a really simple way to help paint the picture in the prospect's mind. In here under visual design, we just include what cameras we use, and then a statement around B-roll, whether we integrate animation, graphics or supplementary B-rolls. Audio design, just give a little bit of spiel about using sound effects. And then picking complementary music tracks. And these are just things that are standard in all of our proposals, alongside this next part, which is social optimization. Social optimization, dead simple thing to do, just repurposing the different content into the correct formats. It's a big value add, and it's something to show that you've got consideration of that way ahead of time. Next thing, include a timeline. In your timeline, you should have in there for sure stage 1 proposal, the proposal review, and then sign off. Include a date of when this deal is going to be signed off. Filming, post-production, feedback loops, completion, celebration, all great, but they're up in the air until the client actually signs it off. But if you have in here a stage which tells them that they need to sign it off to maintain this timeline, then it puts into their head that they need to sign off the contract, and it'll help you close the deal. Finally, we have a stage here stating your investment. Now, you notice it doesn't say quote, or it doesn't say costs, it says investment. And this again is just a slight use of different terminology to help a customer understand that they're not just spending money, this is an investment. They're going to invest in good video, and that is going to give them a return as well. So just a simple tweak to the language can make a massive difference. Cost it up however you feel appropriate. I can do a video in the future about how we do that. We always include this note so the customer is aware that once they sign the contract, any out-of-pocket expenses, be it fuel, congestion, we need to stay in a hotel, we have a note in there so it's covered, so they understand, look, if you're going to be sending us to a different country to film something, then you're going to have to pay for our out-of-pocket expenses to get there. Pretty standard, but make sure that you cover it and you make it clear ahead of time, and then there's no funny business when it comes to actually after the deal's closed and they're like, oh, you didn't say that you're going to charge for fuel. Okay, next thing that you're going to do, or what we have, is a list of customers that we've worked with in the past. Again, it just kind of gives that credibility. Again, you're a video business, you're a videographer, you're selling your video services. If you've done a couple of projects with people and they've been happy with it, take your video camera down, have a chat with them and say, can you sit on camera for 2 to 5 minutes and just give a quick testimonial for me? Businesses will do it for you. People will do it for you. And you'd be amazed. This is just an extra piece of the puzzle. Once somebody gets to the end of the proposal, we've got 2 testimonials from clients that we've worked with, senior people in the organizations that are attesting to the quality work that we do. And then something just nice, simple, leaves it positive, ready to make a real change. Let's make something great together, keeping that positivity. And all the way top to bottom, the proposal is helping drive the viewer into making a decision and having confidence that you are a good supplier. Okay, so the final stage, you've done your preparation, you've had your calls, you've got your proposal together. Now, the final thing that you need to do is make the close easy. Make it easy for the deal to be done. Make it easy, make all of it easy. But at this point where you've got them there ready to sign, you need to make sure that it is a piece of piss. A few things that you're going to do here. Once you've sent your proposal off, make sure that you put in a time to take that client through that proposal. Get on a Skype call with them, get on a Zoom call, get on a Google Hangouts, whatever floats your boat in Corona season, or if you can, even better, depending on Corona, obviously, go and see them, sit down and walk them through it face to face. It's so easy for stuff to get lost in translation. So if you're saying something in a proposal, a client might misunderstand it. If you're there in front of them or there on a Zoom call and you can walk them through exactly what your idea path is and walk them through your thought process of why you've considered the personas first and then the idea off the back of that, etc., it's going to go a long way, and they're going to feel inclined to want to work with you because they understand your vision more clearly, and they can see that your vision is in line with their vision. You've also then got to get them to sign. Now, you've sent them the proposal. It's got a clear sign-off date in there. If they've said they're happy to roll with it, get the contract over. Don't mess about. Get the contract over as fast as you can. Make sure that you do your due diligence and you don't rush it and send something that's naff. But if you send a contract over, most of the time, if you have a contract template, which I can include in the description for you, all you have to do is change the services, change some of the dates in there, and that's it. The other thing I would say is we live in a digital world now. So people don't want to have to get a contract, print it off, sign it. You have to make the close easy. This final step is making the close easy. Use a e-signature platform, whether that be DocuSign or HelloSign. They have free versions where it's a couple of contracts a month you can get signed, then a premium version might cost you like 14-15 quid. But honestly, if you get a contract over and it's easy for it to be signed on an e-signature platform, you're more likely to get it signed than if you have a person that's having to go around the houses, printing stuff, signing stuff, sending it back, blah, 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 blah. Remove all of the possible barriers that are going to come between you and getting a signed contract and make that path as short as possible. And also, final thing, when you're sending over your correspondence at this time, when you're communicating, when you send the contract via HelloSign, don't have any please, please, please sign my contract. Just send something simple. Hi X, please see contract attached for signing. At this stage, you don't want to be begging for it. You've done all of the work. They've said that they're going to sign it. Don't give an opportunity to say, please review it and come back and I'll give you to this date to sign it. Just send it to them. Say, here you go. Here's the document. It's ready for your signing. You've done the legwork beforehand. It's on them to then do their due diligence, their end, and get it signed off. But don't leave any doubt in the correspondence. You have to be confident. You have to be assumptive. They are at this stage of the deal with you. They've said that they're going to sign it. Send the document, get it signed. You have to have confidence in yourself, your services, your deliverables. You've shown that through the entire sales process, following all of this path. So just send it over, be assertive, it'll get signed off, and then off you get cracking. You've signed yourself a deal. Go get yourself a slap-up dinner, have yourself a bottle of fizz, and then get back to work and make sure that you keep those lines of communications solid. Keep communicating regularly with that client, because it's way easier to sell more to one client than it is to get a new client. And also make sure that you deliver what you said that you're going to deliver when you said that you're going to deliver it. And the rest will work itself out. Okay, people, I hope you found this of some value. I hope this really will help you get in cash whilst getting creative. If you did find it of some value, I'd be really grateful if you would drop a little subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, do all